Hello and welcome to this episode of Mir Musk, episode 28. The Dylan Degree interview is what it is set out to be. We're waiting for Dylan still, but the idea of this episode, I'm your co-host tonight. First and foremost, I know usually it's Lil Mir. He's out tonight, so I have as a co-host tonight, Porno Dave is going to be here, and we are both very excited about this concept of a boxing match that's going to come down. And Dylan and our guest, who's joining us on screen right now, Stevie Lou, are both slated to jump into the ring in the coming weeks to month and throw down. So we want to get a little bit into their heads and figure out what they're going to be doing, preparing for the bouts, and they also have a little bit of crossover, being in the New York scene and comedian scene. So welcome Stevie, welcome Dalish, and both returning guests helping me out without Mir today.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I was trying to get our fight, the Katsu Rivera and Lou fight, on the same card as the Negri Crackamico event. That was the initial plan, but it doesn't look like that was going to work out. Schedules are tight. I did reach out to Lewis though, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, man. You can get out," and we had to just reschedule it and go.
Because initially those guys that were supposed to fight on the card down in Tampa,
right?
That's being hyped up everywhere. Where I don't know, a whole bunch of different guys are going to be on it. Alex Stein, Lewis is fighting again, and then I think they're doing some comedy and stuff. So it's like a mini event type thing they're planning around. And that would have been a good one for you guys to get on. But that fight fell off, and you were trying to co-main event that for even more.
Yeah, well, Dylan and Crackamico's fight was the one that fell apart and couldn't get made on that Tampa, Florida event in, I think it's early November, right? So that's just coming up soon itself. And I initially would have loved to have been a part of that as well. But the main thing that held that back from happening is that Asian Pat says that he has a baby coming in like a few weeks. So he was like, I can't fight in November because I'm expecting in November. But if we can get it done in October, that's okay. I'm sure he probably had to have a discussion with his wife about it or whatever. But yeah, so I did respect that biological time clock that was in the background for this, and just was really ready to make the fight happen no matter what. So,
well, I think your fight is probably the best one of all of them, because it seems like all the other fights, they don't really have beef, right? They're kind of friends, everyone else. Whereas you and Ryan it started as you didn't like each other, and now you want to box. So it's a little more of a grudge match.
Okay. So if we want to take that step back one step further, Ryan and I probably used to like each other. We weren't buddies by any sense of the word, but we knew who each other were. We communicated and interacted a lot at Compound Media back in 2017, 2016, when we both first were like getting our fucking feet dug into this whole world. So he had my phone number. I didn't even realize it, that he had my phone number when this whole thing started. He actually texted me out of the blue and was like, "Motherfucker, let's do this." So we do have a slight history. This isn't the first time we had ever heard of each other, just a year and a half ago or 2 years ago a year ago when the Gino thing went down. We do have more of a history. So it does kind of add extra layer to it.
That's awesome, because it was getting built up all summer. And then there's some other kind of a ski mask was going on his rampage, calling out. And the first time you were on our show, he had called out 4 or 5 different people he was going to beat up. Right. So like it was all building towards, an idea of an event. And you're basically the first one to actually, come Friday, it's going to be
right.
Lace them up and see what happens. So absolutely. I'm super hyped for it. And we tried to get Ryan on, but he's claiming he's out training. So
yeah, I don't know what training you're going to really do 1 week out of the fight that's going to help you. So God bless him for doing that. I mean, I should have probably gone today too, but I had MLC and this. So
you should get the bigger amount of the purse for you're the one out here hyping this fight on
that's
these
true.
big shows.
I've done a lot of work for this thing, and that doesn't mean that I can't go and sweat it out. I actually am planning on doing some weighted shadow boxing after my streaming night is done here, and then I did take off from my job tomorrow and Wednesday to get some just extra reps in, feeling like I'll be real good and ready by Friday. But yeah, really at this point, with 1 week, less than a week out, it's only 4 days away. There's no real working out that you could do that's going to really influence this fight. It all had to have been done weeks and if not months ago. So God bless him for trying to get some few extra hours in there.
Now, one thing I kind of heard a little bit about is the production that is going into this. And I know everyone wants to see it, but not everyone can be there. So did you really entrust the Ski Mask Collective production staff to film and disseminate this match to the public? Or
I see that was kind of a loaded question there. I do understand where you're coming from because I know you've had some personal experiences with that crew and that man.
I like them. I just want to make sure that it gets filmed.
Yeah. So okay. I will say this. It's kind of a bummer because I really do want to focus on the fight alone and not have to worry about the other shit. But you know me, I'm a performer as well. So I would not want this to not get recorded, not filmed. So I did entrust Ski Mask because he's local, or he's local enough that I can trust that he will be there on that day to help out. Now, I couldn't really get that sort of promise out of a lot of other people. So that's one thing, is just by being there in the room, he's got the edge. He knows both parties as well. So he is a bit of a psycho. I'm asking him to be on his best behavior for this. He said he's going to get Matt Mead. I don't know if you know Mead. He's an old school SMC. You know Mead. Mm-hmm. He's going to be coming down to also be there to live commentate, I guess. Now, one thing I'll say to make it very easy for folks at home, I have StevieLouComedy.com. If you go to StevieLouComedy.com, it takes you directly to the streaming site on YouTube. So I've already got the event page held for 6:30 p.m. Friday. So there's a funny story about how the whole domain, let's just say someone else had StevieLouComedy.com as of a week ago, and they were using it to torment me. And they actually decided to relinquish the website back to me. And it was due to the fact that I did go through and ahead with this fight. They had said that if you do go ahead with this fight, I'll give you back your own named website.
Hey, man, there's honor in that. So
there is, and that person gained a lot of respect from me with that. And I don't want to.
So is this the real reason you accepted the fight? Get your domain back?
You'd think that, but this is something that this is the cool thing about these events.
The cherry on top.
Dalish, exactly. This is something that arose out of this. Just kind of like I got some great help from the amazing Dead Fool. This guy used to throw me off a podcast for money, and come this month, he's reached out of pocket and has gave me a couple of really nice donations that's helped me pick up some extra boxing equipment. Because this is the thing, like I just started doing this a few weeks ago. In the reality of it, about 3 months is about how much training I have. And this is all kind of new to me. So I'm not someone who's been going to the gym for a long time and has all the equipment and everything. So I had to pick up a few things. Had to pay for gym memberships to go and fight at a place. So there were some extra expenses that were picked up. And that's another thing that I wasn't thinking of and expecting, but it happened, and it's great. And I fucking can't thank those people enough, that person enough, and anybody else who's out there helping all of us out here along the way.
I mean, that's awesome, man. Like, yeah, it's really cool that people can kind of throw you some money. And that's when you're talking about like him giving you that thing back, it's like that's the spoils of being a brave man stepping in the ring. Like people are like, hey man, he gets his domain back. Hey man, I'm gonna throw him a G over here or $500 over here. So
Exactly.
yeah, man, it just comes with the territory. So we're looking forward to seeing it happen. And I like these ones. It's going to be pretty. You guys are both newer versus like some of this stuff with like Jake Paul and all these guys. Like KSI. Like I like this because this is going to be more real, in my opinion. With
Yeah, we're
guys.
definitely. I hate to say this, and I have to be real with myself. We are absolutely influenced, or at least I have to acknowledge the influence that these influencer boxing matches have had on society and the zeitgeist over the past few years. They really have brought boxing back because boxing is a sport that has been dying over the past 25, 30 years. Sadly, used to be the premier event in sports, in American sports, was a heavyweight boxing match, in the 70s and even, in the early 80s. And then we've seen where it's gone professionally lately. And to see some just it's such a great sport. I've really gained a tremendous appreciation for anyone who's ever trained, ever gotten in the ring. You think differently when you box. So shout out to all the boxers out there.
You have a favorite fighter, or you're not very aware of
No,
the
that's a
different fighters?
great question. That's actually a very good question. Growing up, I would have to say Mike Tyson. There was just no disputing the power. I mean, I have Mike Tyson's Punch Out right here. Holy shit! Look at this. This is my copy of Mike Tyson's Punch Out that I was gifted from
Damn.
my aunt when I was 4 years old. So Tyson was the man. We used to watch Tyson knock the hell out of everybody. When he first was coming up, he would beat everyone less than a minute. So that was like just something to behold. But I can say that as an older adult analyzing the history of boxing, I like George Foreman. I think George Foreman is an absolute beast and a story. Also, his life story is, all these boxers have very, very colored pasts, but oh wow, shouldn't use that word. But Foreman is he's had these trials and tribulations. A guy like Lennox Lewis is another guy who I think gets not enough recognition. He's another tall person, also has the same last name. So I'm like, all right, I can fuck with that. Watching his wins over guys like Evander Holyfield, who's another guy. I'll put Evander Holyfield on my list of top 5 all time.
I think there's a guy named Taylor who, like, I don't know why his build reminds me of yours. He was like really tall and skinny for his division. I think it was Jermaine Taylor or something.
Yeah, Jermaine Taylor. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So
sure.
I was like, trying to tell you in chats, like, check out him because he would stand on the outside and punch.
I will check out Jermaine Taylor.
But yeah, I mean, it's cool that you're doing it, and it's probably a great workout and everything you're experiencing too. So there's double benefit.
It's weird because like that's the thing too. This guy Asian Pat Dixon, he's like what the kids would call buff.
Yeah.
He's like muscular, which is great. Put a lot of time into that. Congratulations. You don't see a lot of very muscular boxers throughout time. If you look at a boxer, the boxing frame is not usually one that's more, bulging. It's kind of more wiry and kind of like chiseled. So I'd say I'm more cut and in some very good shape. I will say the 3 months in the gym have been absolutely outstanding for my physical appearance, I think.
Yeah, man. It's awesome.
Not a lot working with here. So if I can get anything extra.
Yeah, and then while you're here, I know you've got your show to do tonight, and we might have someone else popping in. It looks like Dylan completely shit the bed, so he might be coming on Thursday now. But we'll get into that with him when he comes on. But I want to give my condolences to your co-host who recently, lost his life with the
Yeah, it
battle
was
of he had an
substance
incident.
stuff.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, whatever caused it. It's very sad. So
Well, yeah, I mean, we should be clear because we got word from his people that he had been struggling with some addiction issues and had really put a serious effort into getting clean. Now, unfortunately, that's a situation where sometimes you really do need help if you're trying to get clean because detoxing is a tough thing. And a lot of times it needs to be medically supervised. And the word that we got is that he ended up having a seizure from his alcohol withdrawals. And that put him into a medical state that he couldn't come out of. And it's not an uncommon story. So as sad as that is to hear, I think that's a story that should be told. I don't think that's what we should ever focus on because he really was a strong spirited and good natured guy. He was never heard no venom. Like I was the venom guy. Mr. A was the venom guy. Bobby P was always the laughing, smiley, cuddly guy who also was very supportive of everybody on the team behind the scenes. And that goes a real long way. And I know he will be dearly missed. And I thank you guys very much for giving him a shout there. Yeah, it's tough.
absolutely, yeah. So beyond that, you've been blowing up lately, just being on MLC. Ray, I mean, you're always on with Ray at some point, right? Like you're all over now. You're like the
More than
man
I'd
on
like.
every other show. Like, how's it going now? You launched your own show on Ski Mask Collective, right?
Yeah, we do loose cannon. We call that
Yeah.
loose cannon. I've been getting some really good feedback about that. I've got my executive assistant, producer, pro temp, Jake Hudson, really steers the ship on that one. And I do kind of see it as partial penance, partial. It's kind of like meditation a little bit, and it's just like you're in the batting cage swinging at some curveballs when you're working with Jake. So, yeah,
you never know when you're gonna get doxxed by Jake.
That's true. That's true. He does have a reputation. He's been trying to get past that reputation, as we all know, but our reputations can follow us. I know that firsthand very well. But yeah, the funniest thing about that now is that I do, and I'm not looking for any credit here whatsoever, but I do send Jake a small token of appreciation, a Cash App every episode just to kind of keep things on level. He never asked, but I started doing it on my own. And now suddenly he's like, hey, man, when are we going to do another loose cannon? Because I need like $20. I could use that 20 that you usually send me. So now he'll usually message me a couple times a week asking if we could do a loose cannon so he could get his 20. So it's kind of adorable when you think about
Businessman at heart, Jake Hudson.
Yeah, I mean, and then I noticed like lately you've been talking about your bout with Ryan Katsu Rivera and beefing with him a little bit, but I heard today you were beefing with now you're maybe have a little beef with Gino, right?
Yeah, and that unfortunately has to do with something that he said about the situation I was just talking about there. I thought he took a kind of a low blow, a bad take. We'll just say that. All right. I don't want to get too much into it. I did get very frustrated and kind of was letting loose today on MLC. One of those situations where after I did that, I kind of felt a little better, but also a little bit regretful. And he did actually reach out to me and wanted to kind of clarify maybe his situation, which I'll allow him. Gino is a unique fellow who definitely has a innate ability to get under folks' skin, whether he means to or not. And
he's Italian.
Yes. So again, I have to always take these things with a grain of salt. If I, lost my cool every time Gino, Ray, Ski Mask, Jake, Quadfather, Kevin pissed me off. I'd be Chad Zumach, and nobody fucking wants that. I'm sorry, excuse me. I know some of us are friends with Chad, but
No. Speaking on that, that's what I wanted to get into next. I want to see where you stand on the side of like some of the more prominent beefs that are going on. So first one, are you Team Ray or are you Team Chad?
gotta be Team Ray. Especially,
Ray?
I heard some new news about something that Chad did to Skinny Tooth John, and I'm not gonna say nothing, but fuck you, Chad. You really fucking crossed the line. So
moving up the ways of justice, are you Team Ray or are you Team Airy?
Ooh. That is a fucking tough question. I gotta go Airy Jane on that one.
Yeah.
Nice.
The girl.
Shit. But that was a tough one. It was like having to choose between Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth. And I was little young Stevie would have picked Miss Elizabeth also.
You're gonna say it's like choosing between divorced parents.
All right, now here's a recent one. The Phil Elmore or Team Vinny from the guy who was mad at him.
Right. So this is going to surprise folks, but I got to go Team Phil Elmore because Phil Elmore has been my coach the past 2 months. I've been training with Phil. He's been using his flashlight on me, and I've been blocking it, and that's how I really got a good rhythm and good thing going here. So thank you, Sensei Phil, for all of your guidance.
Yeah, I mean, I love that Phil Elmore, dude. He's a genius, bro. Like, he knows like about everything. So.
Buy his books, folks.
I know. I want his audio books. I was hitting him up trying to see if he had audio books because I don't want to read them.
Make his own line of flashlights.
Yeah, they're dope. So now this one is another one that's a little more etheric, but Joey C, or are you Team Joey C or are you Team everyone else?
Dude,
oh, Jesus.
I was trying to look out for that guy and try to give him some advice, and he just blocked me out of nowhere. The other day I looked and I was blocked by Catalano TV. So I don't know what's going on. I guess that automatically puts me in everybody else's category. So,
man, I didn't know that. I know he had beef with Stancil and Ski Mask, but I didn't know he probably just.
I think maybe it's through the transitive property.
Beef by association.
Yes. Yeah.
So if this isn't enough motivation for you to get out of here pretty soon, we got a super chat.
Uh-oh.
He's.
Do you want me to read this? Because that's what I do on MLC. I go, Ryan Katsu Rivera, $5. Looks fun, Stevie. Something to listen to while I train for a second time.
Yeah, he's in the gym. He was thinking about coming on, but he's just
doggy. Like I said, this guy doesn't know what he's doing then, because anybody who knows what they're doing would know that 4 days out, you don't suddenly start working harder. Suddenly, he's putting it's too little too late, pal. I'm sitting here chilling. And you're super chatting shows about me. All right. So let's just put that into perspective while you're working out. Okay. Proud boy.
Are you
thinking about you, super chatting, thinking about you, pretty gay.
Listen, I don't watch anything on censored.tv. I'll just say that and leave it at that. I do have respect for the guy who runs that show. I won't even say his name, but he used to be on Compound, and he was actually on the East Side Dave Star Wars Spectacular with me, and I was the one who taped the C-3PO helmet thing to his chest. Oh, that's a long story for some other day.
So you kind of have you hung around the Gas studio a lot or not really?
I've been there before. Yeah, I was on an episode of Midnight Spooktacular with Zach Amico, Midnight Spook Show. So I've been down there before. I haven't been there since they've expanded. But yeah, I know the place.
Like, what was a better place to go kind of hang out and watch shows? Was it over at Compound or Kumia Network or kind of at Gas?
So I'm going to give you a two-sided answer here. The real answer would be Gas because they had a nicer place. But here's the thing. Gas was all the way in Alphabet City. like deep East Village, so it wasn't easy to get to, and there wasn't a Sullivan's right across the street. So Compound Media is located right next to Penn Station and has Sullivan's across the street. When it comes to like accoutrements and vibe, Gas has them beat there for sure. They got fucking squatty potties in the private bathrooms at Gas. If you go to Compound, you have to share the bathroom with the immigration office that's on the same level. And let me tell you,
hallway with the key.
They take big smelly shits, those people. They take big stinky enchilada filled shits. So
what type of hype are you guys going to be doing over the next couple days? It can't just be our show, because you and Ski going to try to do a stream on Thursday or Wednesday?
Yeah, I think I should get a loose cannon in before we go. Kevin put me on today. I was hoping to maybe get on later in the week, but I think he kind of didn't have anybody else today, so he gave me the shout. You know me, bud. Anybody who'll have me on. I didn't really put the word out. I'm kind of conflicted. I was going to ask Gino if I could come on, but now I feel like I got to just...
But now you want to beat his ass, so yeah.
No, I'm not going to... No, let me just go on the air and say that I would not lay a finger on Gino Bisconti, even if it was over a perceived disrespect over a dead friend. You
wouldn't break his jaw again.
I'd shake him. I'd probably shake him real quick.
Shake him a little bit. Shaking baby syndrome.
So
what else are you working on with Trauma lately?
Yeah, dude, that's basically the number one thing besides... Oh, Jesus Christ. Gino is texting me right now.
Oh, no.
Okay, he's responding to my message.
His ears were burning.
I thought he was watching. Yeah. Yeah, man, we've got this film called Bring on the Damned, Volume 1. I spoke to the director and producer just 2 weeks ago, and he said that we are moving the release date to early 2024. He didn't have it ready for Halloween season. It's more of a horror film, and he felt bad on releasing it in 2023 at the end of the year. He just feels that 2024 sounds nicer. So it should be seeing the light of day early January, February 2024. Bring on the Damn Volume 1. We got an Instagram going. Got Zach Amico, Ian Fidance, Soraya from Jim and Sam is in it. Our friend Jenny Feldy, who's a wonderful trauma actress. And just, it's basically a compilation where we got 5 different stories, all about 15, 20 minutes long. That it's like an old school throwback to the Tales from the Crypt, the Creep shows, with a little bit more of a funny twist to it. So really, really excited for that to come out. We've also got John Wick short parody that we made called Portrait of a Payback, where I did some amazing gun stunts and special effects on that as well. I think the one scene that the money shot that we have for Portrait of a Payback could be the best thing that I've ever done on film. And
amazing.
I'm ready for that. So
you're working on your art and stuff. I got a question kind of pertaining to that type of genre of movies and stuff. Are you a big Halloween guy?
It really depends on the year. I'll say this. I feel like I've grown out of Halloween parties.
Right.
So I'm not one who likes to get all dressed up for Halloween and going out. Now I feel like that's me showing my age, where when I was a bit of a younger buck, sure, I was all about that life, but it's something that I feel like I've grown out of. But I do love the Halloween horror film like renaissance that happens every year for just that month. People like suddenly remember horror to be an actual genre. So I do dig that, I guess. Otherwise it probably die off.
Yeah.
So.
I was always kind of indifferent to it, like growing up. And I mean, I thought it was fun. And like in your early 20s, going to parties and stuff was fun for Halloween. But I lived in a neighborhood where they would go like right a month out, month and a half, they would have all the crazy like decorations up and the big skeletons and everything. And like people all around me loved it so much. And I just like I don't like all the I'm not a fan, I guess.
Yeah, I
is
live
what
in
I'm
New
saying.
York City, man. I see real ghouls and demons on a regular basis every fucking day. So I don't need to play dress up.
Yeah, so I know some people it's like their favorite holiday of the year, and I'm like the opposite. I could pass on it completely. I'll throw a pumpkin outside, maybe a couple on the stoop, but beyond that, I'm not like going out and above and getting all hype and dressing up anymore. So
Hand out candy to the trick or treaters.
yeah. Typically, yeah, I just do the candy, and I've even done that when I've been home and my kids are out. I'll put the thing outside and I don't even care. They'll just
Whoever
they'll
takes
take,
it takes it.
yeah.
them all.
Occasionally it happens, but
The ball.
this stuff's not good. I don't know the candy too these days. I don't think it's as good as it was back in the day in the '90s. I think they're like using too much like corn syrup or something in
Too
it. So
sweet, yeah.
yeah, it doesn't taste right. So, but
Or is that just us getting old?
maybe it's our teeth and our bad taste. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not doing anything this year. What about you, Dalish? Are you a Halloween girl?
Yeah, I don't really go to parties. I mean, if I get invited, I'll go to one, but not this year. I usually just watch horror movies all month, and when Halloween comes, I put on Monster House while I hand out candy. That way, maybe it's not too scary of a movie in the background for kids, but I know some children are even scared of Monster House. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a cute movie, in my opinion.
I don't know
I
that
don't
one.
know, but
I got one for you. It's a Monster House, and we just reviewed it on Blunt Smoker Video. There was a film called The People Under the Stairs.
okay.
You don't know. Neither of you guys know that one. I'm telling you, Dalish, you'd enjoy that. Give it a look up.
Yeah.
Make sure you watch it in the Halloween season. The People Under the Stairs.
Okay.
Writing that down.
Fire.
You're
And then
you're
once
a
you've
movie
once
buff,
you've watched it, once you've watched it, you can listen to the episode that me and my friends did on Blunt Smoker Video where we talk about the whole thing. So
awesome,
plug,
man.
plug.
So, not to jump back to the fights too much, but how far are you from where the event is? Are you going to do a hotel the night before, or are you just going to head over there?
It's close enough.
Okay,
it's
good,
close
good.
enough. It's not close enough where I can get up there easy. I am going to have to figure out transportation. But yeah, it's not a problem. Actually, it's funny. I don't want to get too much into the whole location because I did promise shithead over there that we would keep it completely secret out of respect to him. But there's a bar right across the street that I grew up at. So it's in my hometown, which is kind of nuts. It's in my hometown. I'll leave it at that without giving away anything else. So I'll be able to go fucking tie one off as soon as the fight's over at a place I grew up drinking.
Are you do you know of any other fans that are going or friends?
See, we don't have it's not an open event. It's not an open
Okay.
event, so I haven't been able
should
to
invite Ray.
Anybody. Yeah, Ray is going to be, I think, still in Ohio.
Oh, dang.
But
Okay.
I'm thinking about inviting my father.
Yeah.
That's one where I'm like on the fence because I'm like, A, I don't know if I need them to know about this shit, or B, maybe if he does come, it'll give me a little more inspiration. You know?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's tricky because well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing too. If it's close by, one thing for him, but if you're trying to build up a character and does he want to see you like talking shit before? I don't
Right.
know like how
Well,
it's
no,
going to go down, you know.
I haven't been talking too much shit neither, man. It's all been coming out of that side. That camp has been the mouthy one. You know, I've been sitting here saying that I'm ready to just go and do work, bring my tool bag to the job site and fucking hammer away. So I'm not one to be too mouthy here. and I'm just gonna go and do that. And you know, the only problem is you're right. If it is like kind of a close fight, my pops might just jump in over the top rope and start hammering away on him. And I'm not gonna lie, even though my pops is almost 70, he is absolutely tougher than me and the real problem in the family. So I got to do him solid, do him justice, and go kick
Ryan
some
will
ass.
probably have the Gav dog jump in.
Right. Right. That would be a good fight, Gavin versus my pops. So I would like to, I hope Gavin shows up, and because it's local to him as well. So there's a chance he'll be in the ring. Now the only problem for me is I got to get a corner guy, and I'm still kind of looking for that. I got to make some phone calls because I think to go in, I'm fucking, you know what? If I have to, I'll go in solo and do my thing. But it is nice to have somebody to kind of give you some pointers in between rounds to adjust to, if possible. I also need someone to tape my hands up. You know, that's a big thing too, to make sure I get a nice tape job done on the knuckles and hands. And
Shit, dude. I think if we have Dylan supposed to come on Thursday now, maybe we should get him to roll down there with you.
yeah, right. Right.
Shoot some content around it, but yeah, man. Well, I can't wait, and
yeah,
I'll be
thank you very
watching all
much for
your
having me on.
stuff. I know you got a show to jump over to.
Yeah, I do
tonight,
kind of have to head over there. So I
So,
thank you guys for having me on here.
and we have the invite out to someone, but if they don't jump on soon, we're gonna be doing. I know I was reading the chat, and people were asking, "Where's Mir?" He's with his fam doing something tonight, so he can't jump on. And Dylan is coming on Thursday now. I don't know where the hell got into him tonight, but I really appreciate it, Lou. Go check out BYB, Backyard Boys right now if you want to keep watching Lou and all of his other dudes.
Or next time when we're not on at the same time as you guys, come check it out, folks. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you, King.
All right, y'all. See you guys.
Peace.
And
What up,
then
Dalish?
there were two.
Yeah. So actually, our teams are playing right now. Did you know that? And the team I picked for you last week, they lost. The Niners, they lost when I picked them for you, and now they're playing my team tonight. So rather than doing a long stream tonight, I think we should just probably wrap it up and reschedule it. But we did have we were able to get Lou on for a little bit, and we'll be having probably 2 shows on Thursday with Dylan and another really good guest. So
yeah, I will leave our chat with this question: if Mir and Chow fought, who would win? Who do you think would win?
Yeah, the chat can answer. I mean,
I want to know what you think.
I don't know how big Lil Mir is. I'm pretty tall, but I mean, I'm not, and I was an athlete, but I'm a little bit older to the point where I have maybe not as quick, but I don't know. It just depends on his size, honestly. But probably him, to be honest, because he's younger by a lot. But
I think
if
it'd be a pretty fair fight.
probably, I can move around a little bit, and I'm 6'3", so unless he's around the same height, yeah. So unless he's around the
tall,
same, yeah. So, but I don't know. I had actually scheduled a fight with Softcast, who is a streamer that used to be on Win by 2, and we scheduled it live on the air, but then it kind of fell out, and it was actually really funny when we did it, the call, because I told him I was going to just drive over to his house, and he was like, yeah, come over. And then later it was kind of like, I think I could beat him, but he was also like in his 50s. So,
right.
Yeah.
You don't want him to like have a heart attack and die.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying I'm any great pugilist boxer or anything, but just
but also people. I've seen Softcast.
yeah. So, but no, I don't think I'm going to be doing any events for boxing right now or in the near future. But I really appreciate the heck out of the people who are. And this Dylan dude is, if you guys want to look into him before the show, there's a lot of funny stuff on YouTube of him. He kind of like one of our former guests, Dalton Pruitt, really like pissed him off so much that he got up and left his job. And
Shit.
there's a clip of him doing it at gas on YouTube. So if you want to watch something funny from a couple years ago, plus he actually had a boxing match at Skankfest. So and yeah, like
I'm surprised this is the first time I've ever heard of him.
yeah, this
Right,
is
with
Recline
Stevie.
Host is kind of explaining what he's like, but I think he's funny. I found out he's doing a show now that's like he's got a brother on there and someone else. It's called like the Dope Cast or something. And I was watching some of it, and I would love it with him and Lil Mir because they're like the same age and they can talk their lingo or whatever. I think it'll be funny. So, but beyond that, I mean, what else you got going on, Queen?
Nothing much. I'm pretty boring right now. The Robert from BYB passing away kind of fucked me up. So taking the rest
That
of
was a
the month
bummer.
to just be with friends and family. Because man, it fucking sucks how quick someone's there and then not. So
yeah, and I know like that it can serve as a reminder, a wake up call to some people too. I know there's a lot of people who have different issues, mental or physical addiction or anything. So yeah, it's just be kind, live your best life, focus on health, and try to weed out the negative stuff, and things will work out. So with that, we'll wrap it tonight so we can watch a little bit of football, the Niners versus the Vikings, and
I
maybe we
kind of
get.
hope your team wins. I want you to win.
Thanks, Queen. And yeah, we'll get you on the football show too again soon. Maybe we can throw on some
Right,
some
gotta get that cheerleader fit.
Yeah, we'll do some cheerleader costumes. So, but appreciate you, and till next time. Later, guys.